The Breakfast Club is the worst movie of all time.
This is a certified
Bob Sponge 10.
classic.
There are plenty of bad movies out there. There are movies that are just plain bad. There are movies that are so bad they're good. There are movies that are good despite being bad. But The Breakfast Club is completely and thoroughly bad. Let's take a recent example of a bad movie, the Emoji Movie. Now, I think everyone would agree that this is a pretty bad movie. But the differences between the Emoji Movie and The Breakfast Club are obvious. Number one, the Emoji Movie is made as a movie for small children who literally do not care whether a movie is good or bad. Number two, everyone knew the Emoji Movie was going to be bad. I don't think there's a single human person out there who watched the trailer to the Emoji Movie and thought, wow, that's going to be a good movie. Meanwhile, The Breakfast Club is for some reason esteemed as this prestigious, thoughtful, insightful movie, when it's not. It's boring and irrelevant and stupid. And I will break it down for you real quick. The Breakfast Club is an incredibly boring movie. Their only goal, their only objective is to sit in a room and do nothing all day. They don't know each other, so they don't talk to each other. There are plenty of movies based on character relationships that are able to avoid the boredom that comes between the characters not talking. For instance, Shrek, a timeless, beloved classic, starts off between Shrek and Donkey not talking to each other because Shrek hates Donkey. But guess what? They're going on an adventure to save Princess Fiona. They're still doing stuff. And because they're doing stuff, they're forced to talk to each other. These kids are sitting in a room doing nothing for 45 minutes of the hour-and-a-half movie. How much more of a waste of time can you be, movie? Probably what angers me the most about this movie is the characters. There's not a single likable character in the whole bunch. The only one I didn't hate with a burning passion is Brian, and that's because he's the only one who's not a supreme dick to everyone for no reason. He's also the only person whose name I remember, so maybe that should tell you something. I mean, these people are all just so pathetic, man. This girl's like, oh, I'm pretty, I'm popular, so now I'm gonna kill myself. This guy's like, oh, I'm good at sports. My dad made me be good at sports, so now I'm gonna kill myself. And don't even get me started on this girl. I mean, what is she even supposed to be? The only person in my life I've ever seen act anything like this was a severely autistic person. So unless this girl's representing the severely autistic, I don't know what they were going for here. If this is how schools were in the 80s, I probably would have just offed myself or dropped out and just gotten my GED because I don't even know what's going on there. I mean, even Brian doesn't have a reason to complain. He says, oh, my parents, they made me be good at school. They made me join the chess club, so now I'm going to kill myself. Brian, whose parents didn't want them to be good at school? Any parent worth their salt has pushed their children to be good at school. The only person I can see with a legitimate case is this guy, and even he is impossible to feel sorry for because he's such a dick to everyone. I know the principal's supposed to be the villain of this movie, but I don't blame him. If I had to deal with these kids all day, I'd be pretty jaded too. And even the waifu material in this movie is pretty much non-existent. There's not a single cutie patootie or voluptuous babe in sight. The only reason I would ever come back and rewatch this movie is if I developed insomnia and I needed something to fall asleep to. This is the worst movie of all time.